This guy has scored an insane 97 goals in just the last 2 seasons.
It's Gyökeres!
Yet somehow people still doubt him.
How do you explain that Europe doesn't know you because you are so talented?
They don't?
Why? Because of where he played. For 2 years he dominated the Portuguese league. He led Sporting to their first back-to-back league titles in over 70 years. But now, he's in the Premier League. And suddenly, one question is everywhere. Can his brilliance in Portugal translate to England? And honestly, it's not an unreasonable doubt. According to Opta, the Portuguese league ranks far behind the Premier League. In fact, it's even below the Championship. But that doesn't mean players from Portugal cannot succeed at the very top. Just look at Bruno Fernandes, Di Maria, Deco, and even Cristiano Ronaldo as examples. However, when it comes to strikers, that's where things get tricky. Take Darwin Núñez as recent example. He scored 26 goals in 28 league games in his final season at Benfica. But at Liverpool, he's managed just 25 Premier League goals in 95 games. That's a clear drop in production after making the switch to England. And it's not just Darwin. Jackson Martinez, Mario Jardel, and Bas Dost were all prolific in Portugal, but they couldn't match that form in the biggest leagues. Bas Dost in particular is worth noting because his numbers were similar to Gyökeres. Between 2016 and 2019, he scored 76 goals in 84 league games for Sporting. But when he moved to Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, his output fell to just 12 goals in 36 games. And that's why many people are skeptical about Gyökeres. But here's the thing, it doesn't mean he won't thrive in the Premier League. It's not all doom and gloom for strikers coming from Portugal. Just look at Radamel Falcao. He was unstoppable at Porto, 41 goals in 51 league games. Then he moved to Atletico Madrid and didn't slow down. He fired them to multiple trophies while scoring for fun. So how do we really judge Gyökeres? Not solely by the league he came from, but by his game. What are some of his strengths and weaknesses? One of his biggest strengths is his ball striking, and that's absolutely crucial for an elite striker. He can hit the ball with ferocious power and pinpoint accuracy, even with his weaker foot. This is something Arsenal clearly lack. Neither Gabriel Jesus nor Kai Havertz are natural strikers of the ball, and that's why Gyökeres' ability could be a game changer for Arsenal. Another strength of his is his speed. Despite what social media says, Gyökeres is rapid, especially in transition. And when you add his physical strength, you get a striker who can bulldoze through defenders, carry the ball over long distances, and still launch a powerful shot at the end of the run. But he's not perfect. With his back to goal, he's not as strong. For someone his size, he struggles with contact from behind when battling defenders. That makes him less effective for hold-up play, something Arsenal often asks Kai Havertz to do. For Gyökeres to excel, the ball needs to be played into space, not floated up for a physical duel. Because while he struggles under pressure from behind, he thrives when he's shoulder to shoulder with defenders. Another weakness, his heading ability. It's poor. And for a team like Arsenal who score plenty from crosses, that's an issue. But the good news, that's fixable. Wayne Rooney once said he turned himself from a poor header of the ball into one of the best just by practicing for months. Now there's one more thing about Gyökeres that stats don't measure, his mentality. This guy has elite mental fortitude. He was rejected by Brighton without playing a single Premier League minute. Then came a disappointing loan spell at Swansea, but he didn't quit. He rebuilt himself at Coventry, delivering 2 incredible seasons, which earned him a move to Sporting, where he became one of Europe's deadliest strikers. And now, he's at Arsenal, one of the best teams in Europe. This is why he never stops fighting. Take his Champions League game against Arsenal as an example. Despite losing 5-1 and having a tough night, he was still fighting for the ball even in the last minutes. He bamboozled the defenders, carried the ball half the length of the pitch, and still smashed a shot off the post. That's who he is. And if things don't start well for him in the Premier League, Gyökeres isn't the type to fold. He'll keep going again and again until he gets it right. Even in his first Champions League season, he scored 6 goals in 8 games, more than any Arsenal player. So he isn't the dud some make him out to be. He even finished as the top scorer in the Nations League. If Arsenal tweak their system to suit him and play to his strengths, he can thrive. But if they try to force him into a role he isn't built for, that's where things could go wrong. Either way, one thing is certain. This is going to be fascinating to watch.